Hey everyone, and welcome to our fourth lesson of our easy guitar course. So if you've been following along, then you know the names of the guitar parts. You know the individual names of the 6 guitar strings. You'll even know the note names for the first 5 frets of each string. And you'll have been working on your finger independence to be able to build that strength and be able to play with each of your fingers. You also have some theory knowledge, which is great to have. And today, I'm actually going to teach you your first song. I know you've probably been waiting with anticipation. You want to play that first song, so we're going to get to it. I'm not going to make you wait anymore. And today's song is Mary Had a Little Lamb. I know it sounds easy, but trust me, when you get that first song figured out, it's going to be a nice sense of accomplishment to be able to play that first song. So, we're going to start off by, I'm just going to let you know that we're in the key of C. And that may mean nothing to you at all, and that's okay. In a future lesson, I'm going to talk about some more theory, and you're going to learn about keys and how all of that works together with different notes. But today, all you need to know is that you're in the key of C. And what's special about the key of C is that it has no sharps or flats. So if you remember our keyboard, you'll know that all the sharps and flats are the black keys. So we're just looking at entirely the white keys across the bottom. So it starts with C and it goes all the way to the next C. Those are all of the notes in the key of C. Okay? Again, if that doesn't make any sense, that's okay. We'll learn about that moving forward, but just so you're aware. So today we're actually going to look at basically just 4 notes to make this song work. And our notes are C, which is the first fret of our B string. And again, if you've been working on these, then you should know these already, right? So we've got our C, which is our first fret of the B string. We have our D, which is the 3rd fret of the B string. We have our E, which is the 5th fret of the B string. And then our last note we're going to use is the G, which is the 3rd fret of our high E string. Okay? So, I'm going to call these out as I'm playing them, just so you have an idea. And then we're going to actually play the song in its entirety. But it's going to start off in 3 different parts. The first part goes like this. I would try, if I can, especially if you've been working on that finger independence, to use more than just one finger. Like, I wouldn't just drag your finger across the fretboard. I would try and get used to playing with multiple fingers because it's going to be better for you in the future. So, if you can, or give it a try at least, start with your pinky finger on the 5th fret of the B string. That's an E note. So that's our first note. Then we'll move with our middle finger to the 3rd fret of the B string. And all I'm doing there is just lifting that pinky finger up, right? So there's the first note. And then I'm lifting that pinky finger up while this middle finger is holding down the 3rd fret to make that change. And then same thing, I'm going to move my first finger to the 1st fret of the B string. That's the C note. So we're going to go from that D on the 3rd fret to a C on the 1st fret. Okay? So we've got E, D, C, D, E, E, E. That's the first portion. Okay, I'll give you a closer look at that. And all I'm doing with my picking hand is just down strums. Right? Just on the 1 string right now, because we're only on the B string. It's just down, 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 down every time. Alright, so that's the first portion. Now we're going to move to the second portion, which is going to have us move between our B string and our high E string. So that's the only thing to be aware of for this. It's the only portion of the song that does this, but we're going to go now to the 3rd fret of our B string. That's the D note. 3 times. Our pinky back on the 5th fret, our E note. And then here's the jump. We're moving our middle finger to the 3rd fret of the high E string. So instead of being on the 3rd fret of the B string, it's now going to be on the 3rd fret of the high E string to hit the G note. Okay? So, from the top of that portion again, D, 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 E, G, G. So we have to move our finger up to that string, but we also have to move our pick from the B string to the E string. Okay? That's that whole portion there as well. So it goes D, 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 E, G, G. Okay? Those two first portions together. E, D, C, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, G, G. Now we do our last portion, which starts off the same way as our first one. E, D, C, D, E, E, E. Now it changes here. D, D, E, D, C. Okay, so instead of going up to the G like we did in that second portion, we're just walking back down to the C. So let me show you that whole thing up close. It goes like this. That's the change there. Okay, that's 4 times instead of 3. 2 times. Okay? So that's the melody of Mary Had a Little Lamb, and the melody is just the portion we're familiar with, that the part that you would sing, right? So Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. So that's the melody, what we're familiar with singing. I would take that as slow as you need to. Even if you need to slow down this video to get all those portions, do that, right? Take your time with it. Try and work on playing with multiple fingers, because that's going to help you a lot in the long run. And really be comfortable with that melody. Then, what you can do is actually add in some chords. So we're going to learn our first 2 chords today. And those chords are our C chord and our F chord. So our C chord is played like this. You start on the C note, which again is our first fret of the B string with our index finger. And then we're going to take our middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the D string. And then our ring finger and put it on the 3rd fret of the A string. Okay, and this chord can be played with all the strings open. You're not trying to mute any of them. So if you're playing all of them through, from the top, the thickest one to the bottom. Okay, that is your C chord. This alone may take a bit of time to be able to play without causing weird buzzing or anything. Right? You want to try to avoid the buzzing as much as possible. And the best way to do that when you're playing chords is to try and make sure your fingers are coming over top of the strings. So if you leave your thumb against the back of the neck, it's going to give you the most space to come over top of the strings. So you're almost trying to make the fingertips touch the fretboard as much as possible to leave yourself that room so you're not touching nearby strings. Okay? So if we're back into that C shape, and as much as I can, I'm going to keep my thumb back here so that way I'm coming down over top of the strings and trying to get that as clear as possible. Alright, work on that until you do have that nice clarity to the strings. And if you do your strumming like before, you just strum down. That should be a nice clear sound. Your fingertips may start to be a little sore, right? So depending on how much you did your finger exercises before, your fingertips may be sore trying to hold this shape. It's not, again, the most comfortable thing that your hand's normally going to be doing throughout the day, and that's okay. It might take some time for you to get used to holding chord shapes, but take your time with it and work on it until you get that nice clear sound. Okay, that's your C chord. Now, to learn the F chord, you're actually only moving 2 of your fingers. You're keeping the shape almost the same, right? So in this case, here's our C, and then we're taking our middle finger and we're going 1 string lighter to the 2nd fret of our G string. And then we're taking our ring finger and going 1 string lighter as well to the 3rd fret of our D string. Okay, and that is an F. Traditionally, you'd want to bar or hold both of these lightest 2 strings on the 1st fret together, but that's a bit of an awkward position to hold sometimes with your finger, especially if you're not used to playing just yet. And realistically, in my opinion, I don't think you need to do that to get that F sound. So what I do is I actually just keep my finger where it is for the C, but I roll it slightly so it just touches that high E string. So you get this from the high E string. Now that string's muted, so when you don't want that note, it's not coming through. Okay? So there's your F. In this case here, once you get that clarity to it, you can tell you don't want this E note in here, because that doesn't sound right. So if we can mute the high E just by rolling our finger a little, and then if we wrap our thumb around, once we get the clarity of these fingers and we're coming down over top, if you can wrap your thumb around and just touch that low E string to mute that as well, then you're getting that nice clear F chord. Okay? Again, this may take some time. It may take some getting used to, because muting strings is not the easiest thing to do. And even just holding individual notes to make a chord with clarity is not always the easiest thing to do. So be patient with yourself as you do it, and work towards getting that nice clarity, okay? But once you've got those 2 chords down, you got your C chord, and you got your F chord, then you're able to play the chords for Mary Had a Little Lamb. So you start with your C, Mary had a, to your F, little lamb, F again, little lamb, back to the C, little lamb, C again, Mary had a, to the F, little lamb, whose, F again, place it was white as snow, back to the C. Okay, so we're going C, F, F, C. Now we're repeating that same progression. C, F, F again, and C. Okay, so together you would have and that's the song. That's both parts together, so if you and a friend are learning how to play at the same time, you can take turns playing the chords or the melody portion and change those back and forth. Or you could record yourself playing on a device and play it back and play along with your own track. So that just gives you your first song to work on, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Keep working on that. That's going to teach you a lot about how to stretch your fingers out a little bit as you're trying to play through the melody portion. It's going to teach you how to work on your first 2 chords and really work on getting that nice clear sound out of each note, and even with that F chord, muting a few strings. So there's a lot there to work on. Take your time with it. Make sure that you're really dialing that in as much as possible to continue to help you improve as we work through these lessons. I hope that's helpful for you today. If you do have any questions, please feel free to write them in the comments for me, and I will do my best to answer them. And I hope that this is just helping you out along your way to continue to learn to play guitar. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, love you guys.